Welcome back, everyone, to our NFL Week 4 predictions.
The third leading scorer in the playoffs. What a season he's had.
Brown goes inside. Oh, what a slam from
the Panthers have a 3rd and 10. Here comes pressure. So the ball is out in the end zone. And it's
Wheeler finds Clark from the logo.
Edelman in motion. Edelman takes the swing pass. Edelman's going to throw. He's down to the wide open Amendola. Touchdown.
Last week was a horrible week in the NFL. I went 9-7 with my picks, bringing me to 30-18 on the year, which is also known as last place out of this group of 3. So not doing so hot. This week we have a divisional rivalry Thursday night football. So we have the Seahawks at the Cardinals. The Seahawks have not lost to the Cardinals since 2021. I am picking the Seahawks to beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals looked really bad against a very injured 49ers team last week. They just can't put up points. Their O-line is horrible. Marvin Harrison Jr. is still having a rough go in the NFL. And the Seahawks have looked better and better each week. They had that week 1 game where they were all a little bit off and a little rusty, but week 2 and week 3 they've just looked better and better. Sam Darnold looks more and more comfortable in this offense, and that Seahawks defense looks pretty solid too. So I'm definitely going with the Seahawks to win this game. I don't want to overthink this matchup. I think it's a pretty clear-cut game, actually. This could go one of two ways. It could be very low scoring, or it could be super high scoring. I don't think it'll be anywhere in the middle, but I do see the Seahawks controlling this one and coming out the victor. They are not the favorites to win this game. How is that possible?
I don't know.
The Cardinals are 1.5 point favorites playing at home. I don't really understand this, and the Cardinals are not even really a good home team. They're not really known for their home field advantage. So that is very surprising. It's very surprising to me. I wouldn't be shocked if there were just as many Seahawks fans in that building as Cardinals fans at all. They expect it to be a lower scoring game somewhat. 43.5 is the over-under. I'm shocked that the Cardinals are the favorites. Coming off of a rough loss, Seahawks coming off of a big win. Both teams 2-1. Let's see who ranks up in the division, but I am wholeheartedly going with the Seahawks. Also my lock of the week.
Lock of the week.
I mean,
State your name and your record for the jury.
Okay, well, I'm 34-14, which is 4 better than you if you can do math.
Overall.
What'd you go last
What'd
week?
you do last week?
9-7, which is the same as
Speak right into the mic.
9-7.
0 to 9-7.
Still not the worst on the table. Just
Well,
tied.
yeah,
you are.
I'm tied.
Not yet.
I'm tied. But I'm going to pick the Seahawks too. I'm not going to overthink it. I don't know how the Cardinals managed to lose to the 49ers team. Seahawks.
I am also going to pick the Seahawks to win this game. I just think Sam Darnold has found his groove. He kind of looks like he did last year when he was with the Vikings, and he had that great year until the end of the season. Cardinals, I don't know. I don't trust them. I never have. I'm still going to go with the Seahawks to go on the road and win this one.
All right, that brings us to our second international game of the season. This one in Dublin, Ireland. This will be a Sunday morning game. Vikings at Steelers. Vikings coming off of a huge blowout win against the other team with their backup quarterback. The Cincinnati Bengals blew them right out. Special teams, defense, offense. And then the Steelers are lucky. The Steelers are very lucky. They did not deserve to win last week. The Patriots handed them to the victory 5 times in a row. The Steelers did not deserve to win. Even Aaron Rodgers in the post-game press conference admitted that they didn't really deserve to win that one. The only thing they did better than the Patriots was not turning the ball over. But the Steelers are a horrible team. They're not good. They're washed up. Their defense isn't even all that impressive. And I am picking the Vikings to win this one. I apologize to Carson Wentz. Vikings are going to win this. They have a better defense. They have a better offense. And they're not as pathetic as that Steelers organization. They're going to put them in their place. Vikings win in Ireland.
Wow. Talk about a little bitterness.
Yeah.
Dublin's in Ireland?
Yes, Dublin is in Ireland.
Yeah.
Vikings are 1.5 point favorites, by the way.
I think I'm going to pick the Steelers. I think saying that the Vikings have a better offense with Carson Wentz is actually absurd.
It's not.
It is.
Did you watch the game last? Did you watch the
Yeah,
Steelers
he didn't
game
do
last
anything.
week?
The Steelers game, no. I didn't.
We
but-
might want to watch those offensive highlights. There are none.
Well, yeah, I'm still picking the Steelers. I don't think the Vikings really, their offense didn't really do much last week. Jake Browning kind of handed them the win, so I'll just take the Steelers.
I am going to go with the Vikings because their defense is better. Fly over to Dublin, and they're going to put a beating on the Steelers unless somehow Aaron Rodgers can pull out a game from his youth. Steelers really don't stand a chance. I'm not going to go as far as Jacob here and trash the whole organization, but they're not at this point they're not a really good football team. I have to go with the Vikings. My record was 10-6, and I am 34-14 overall, tied for first.
All right, so now we have our first 1 p.m. game of Sunday. The Chargers at the Giants. The Giants coach is on the hot seat. He's feeling the pressure, and he's making the poor choice to put Jackson Dart in the game. Nothing against Jackson Dart, but that kid's going to get demolished. The Giants' O-line is horrible. They're going against one of the best teams in the NFL, and you're going to put your rookie quarterback up against that defense. What a horrible decision to make. At the very least, he could have put, if he wanted to just switch things up, he could have put Jameis Winston in. He's going to look like a fool and put his rookie in. First NFL start against the Chargers. Horrible, horrible, horrible decision. They might as well just fire the coach after this game or before the game. What a horrible decision to make. Chargers are 5.5-point favorites. Chargers seem to be underrated, in my opinion. I think they should be bigger favorites. I'm very confident that the Chargers cover the spread here. This defense is playing a guy in his first NFL start ever. The Chargers are going to take this and cover. They have defeated all 3 of their divisional opponents. Very impressive. And they are leading the AFC. The Chargers are the real deal. They haven't quite gotten the respect they deserve yet, but they are well on their way to that number 1 seed. It's a long season, but the Giants are certainly going to be a stepping stone this week, and not going to be good for Giants fans. Chargers all the way, covering and everything.
I agree. I think saying the Giants are only going to lose by 5.5 is a bit generous. I don't know why you would put a rookie quarterback out there against the Chargers as their first start in Week 4.
I have to go with the Chargers. It would be idiotic not to. As far as the Giants go, you're proving to us why you're a dysfunctional organization. Putting a rookie quarterback against the Chargers. I mean, let's face the facts, Giants and Giant fans. Your season's been over with since the preseason. So you're going to lose a lot of games, no matter who's at quarterback. So you might as well just leave Russell Wilson in there. You know, every now and then he has a good game. And let your quarterback learn and not get thrown into the fire, and hopefully doesn't get injured because he's going to have no protection and his confidence is going to get crushed. I don't understand why you would even put him in this year. I understand the coach. You should have known. You should have just resigned last year because you should have, when you see the schedule, you know you're going 0-5 or 0-4 to start the season. I think they play Saints next week, which they might have a chance. But after that, it gets ugly again. And so you have 0.000 chance of making the playoffs. So why in the world would you try to salvage your season, like you say, by putting in Jackson Dart? If he's so good and you think he's your future quarterback of the franchise, let him learn. Let him progress and get him in there when he's ready. You're making a big mistake, and the Chargers are going to really make you pay for it.
Yeah, they would have been better off just letting him play the fourth quarter against the Saints or something like that. When the backups are in, you're playing against a team with a horrible defense. Like, let him get a few drives here, a few drives there, like in preseason, but not against this team. All right, so next up we have the Titans at the Texans. So I agree with the over-under. It's 39.5. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Yeah. What I don't agree with is how Houston is a bigger favorite over the Titans than the Chargers are over the Giants. I do not understand this at all. The Texans' offense is just horrible. It's really, really bad. Their O-line is horrible, but also the quarterback play has been bad. The wide receivers haven't really been getting open. It's just all been bad. There's no running game. So it doesn't really matter what kind of team you were last year, and if you're going against a team with a rookie quarterback who's also still developing. If you can't put points on the board, it's going to be a close game. And the Titans, their defense is not the worst. So honestly, I would not be shocked if this ended up being Cam Ward's first NFL win. I would not be shocked. I think 6.5 is crazy. I will give it to the Texans because they do have the experience and they're playing at home, but I expect this to be a little bit of a back and forth game, and I would not even be surprised if the Titans won this one. It would not faze me one bit. I'll stick with the Texans, but I'm almost tempted to take the Titans here. But I'll roll with the home team. If Titans were at home, I would probably just go out on a limb and pick them just for fun.
Well, you kind of said exactly what I was going to say, and that makes me a little mad, so I'm going to pick the Titans.
Okay.
I'm just going to pick the Titans. They were leading against the Rams at halftime.
You were going to pick the Titans? You didn't even circle them.
I'm going to pick the... No, I wasn't going to. But I am now.
Okay, I'm glad we got this on video.
They were leading against the Rams at halftime. Not saying they're going to win, but I think they have a shot.
Yeah, I mean, they probably do have a shot. It might be a long shot. I got to go with the Texans, mainly because they're at home. And Titans are still not great. They're young. Cam Ward's going to be fine down the road. I think the Texans are just a little bit better, and they're going to be able to pull this one out.
All right, next we have the Washington Commanders at the Falcons. Falcons put up an embarrassing performance last week against the Panthers. I don't know what that was all about. Good thing I don't have Michael Penix on my fantasy team.
I do.
Although your team won and mine didn't, so.
Yeah, well, I got lucky.
Yeah, so Washington, they are 2.5-point favorites. You know what? Mariota impressed me. He played very, very well. The whole Washington team played well. Their running game was good. Their defense was very surprisingly good. So I'm going to go with Washington just because they have the momentum here. Even with all the injuries, like Terry McLaurin might not even play this week. Jaden Daniels probably won't be back still. And hey, why rush him back when your backups are playing well? You're going up against a team that the backups can beat. So I'm off the Falcons bandwagon and onto the Commanders bandwagon now.
Yeah, I think you trashed them at the beginning of the
I
year.
did.
They were going to go backwards.
Yeah, I had the Falcons actually taking their wild card spot, but I'm going with Washington. If you can win with your backups, that's impressive for me. So I'll take them. It was a very convincing victory, and the Falcons just were bad. I don't expect the Falcons to be as bad as they were last week, and Washington might not be as good as they were last week, but I still give the slight edge to Washington here. I mean, I'm not fully convinced that that's what will happen, but I just like them a little better.
I'm going to pick the Commanders. I cannot pick the Falcons after the monstrosity they put up last week. And if they don't win this game, yikes.
I'm picking the Falcons to win this game. Too many injuries on Washington, I think. And I don't think Michael Penix is going to be awful. I'm going to go Falcons are at home. I'm going to pick them in a close game.
I do not think this next game will be close at all. We have the Saints at the Bills. The Bills beat Miami, but they did not cover last week. I do pick them to cover this week, even at 15.5 points, our largest spread of the season. Bills are playing at home. Yes, I do have them covering that. They probably pull the starters by halftime, but Bills should have no problem with the Saints, and that is it.
Yep.
That is it.
Best team versus worst team. Give me the best team.
Yeah.
Yep. Bills at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not even really a reason to talk about this.
No.
All
right, so next up, now we have a good game again.
Yes.
We have the Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield has continued his win streak, and the Eagles have continued theirs, both teams in dramatic fashion. These are the two most dramatic teams in the NFL right now. Winning their games last second, crazy plays, blocked field goals, last-minute drives, everything. Eagles are 3.5-point favorites. I went back and forth with this game, probably more than the rest of the games, and I was actually going to pick Tampa. And the Rams almost had the Eagles last week, and they really should have. They just couldn't close that one out. And I was really, really, really wanting to pick Tampa, and then Mike Evans got hurt. And I don't know. I'm going to go with the Eagles here. I'm gonna roll with them, although they always have a hard time with Tampa. They have in the playoffs, they have in the regular season. So, again, same thing with very similar. I think this will be a very similar game to the Rams game. Close, back and forth. This is another team they have troubles with, just like the Rams. But I will just keep rolling with the Eagles until they lose one. Tampa is also undefeated, so it's not like they've let me down either. But I am cheering for Tampa to win this one. I would love nothing more than for them to take first place and Baker to dethrone Philly. But I'll go with the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with Tampa Bay. They just seem to always, they're at home.
I am also going with Tampa Bay. They're the home team. Eagles, they're winning, but they're not playing great. They're not dominating any team. They struggled against the awful Cowboys. Really should have lost last week. I mean, if a couple ball bounces different ways, Eagles would be 1-2 instead of 3-0. So, but good teams, sometimes that's what happens. They're 3-0. Tampa's 3-0. Baker Mayfield's been playing pretty darn good, so he's going to be at home. So I guess you would say a mild upset.
Speaking of upsets, last week we had the Browns and the Packers. Definitely probably the most shocking game of the season. I did not have the Browns beating the Packers anywhere on my bingo card. But they did. And now we have another matchup where we say, oh, the Lions should certainly beat the Browns. No problem with that. Nothing to talk about here. I feel like they're only 8.5-point favorites because of what the Browns did last week. But the Lions did not let me down. I picked them to beat the Ravens. I liked the way that it matched up, and they took care of business. The Lions are hot. After that Week 1 loss, they are hot. They are back, and we're going to keep rolling with the Lions here. They're playing at home as well. So, rolling with the Lions. That Browns defense is no joke. If only they had anything other than the offense that they have. Browns basically have a Super Bowl type of defense with a first pick in the first round draft type of offense. So, unfortunately for them, they're playing the Lions, who all they do is score points. And their defense looked pretty good last week, too, with a strip sack, multiple sacks on Lamar, which is not easy. He's a fast guy. So, yeah, we'll roll with the Lions to see if the NFL universe can correct itself and we don't see another weird upset like we did last week.
Yeah, I still don't think there's much to talk about. I don't think the Browns didn't even play well last week. Well, their defense did, but
Well, they never play well.
no.
No.
The Packers
That's why it's surprising.
Packers kind of just lost.
Yeah.
Packers played really bad.
Yeah.
So I think the Lions just roll over them.
Yeah, the Lions should absolutely
They should.
roll over them, and that's who I'm picking too. Browns defense is pretty good, but I don't think they're going to be able to control the Lions offense at all. Their Lions are pretty stacked on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm picking the Lions. They're at home. I think they win this one easily.
Now we have to talk about the Panthers and the Patriots. I have never thrown my phone so many times in one day as I did last week when we played the Steelers. Every time I pick my phone up after a commercial break, we are turning the ball over. I'll give Bill Belichick credit for one thing he used to do. If you fumbled, you were on the bench. After a whole season last year of fumbling problems, by the way, that's the whole reason we drafted a rookie running back. Oh, we give him the ball at the 1 yard line, at the goal line. And what does he do? He fumbles a second time. Who could have seen that coming? Why would we not give the ball to our working running back, who's pretty good, who had 0 turnovers in his college career? 0. Why wouldn't we give him the ball? No. So then we give the ball to a different running back who also had fumbling issues last year. And what does he do? He fumbles it. So now we have 3 fumbles. And then we have the ball at the 1 yard line before the half ends. All 3 timeouts. Do we run the ball with our running back who doesn't fumble? No. We throw the ball 3 times. Drake May almost gets a concussion on it. Maybe he did. Who knows? He hit his head hard off the turf because we have a horrible O-line. And then one of the passes gets tipped and intercepted in the end zone. Pulled an old Pete Carroll there. And then when we're trying to go down and tie the game up, poor Drake May gets blindside strip sacked because our O-line cannot do anything right. And then somehow, if it wasn't for Drake May, I don't know where we'd be in this game. We had so many more yards on offense than the Steelers did. It was unreal. We only punted the ball like 2 times the whole game. We kept driving all the way up and down. Their defense couldn't stop us. Really, their defense could not stop us. And then Drake May throws a first down pass. Should have been a first down pass. Our wide receiver, instead of diving forward on 4th and 1, jumps backwards to avoid the defender. And guess who he didn't avoid? the defender. So that was one of the most frustrating games I ever watched because we actually should have won the game and we gave it away time after time after time. So yeah, I'm mad. I'm still mad about that whole entire game. We should have won. We really should have won. The Steelers were horrible. Horrible team, horrible organization. We should have beaten them. But we beat ourselves many times. But after all that, we are 4.5-point favorites to beat the Panthers, who somehow just dropped a 30 piece on the Falcons. I don't know. Divisional games are weird like that. Patriots are at home, and I am taking the Patriots because I like to punish myself and get my hopes up. Well, we really should beat the Panthers. We should beat the Steelers. We are the better team. We just need to not turn the ball over 5 times. If we even turned the ball over just 4 times, we would have won last week. So that says something right there. I don't see us turning the ball over 5 times against the Panthers. We should beat them. I'm going with the Patriots. We have to win eventually.
I mean, I guess if it makes you happy.
The rant is over.
I'm going to pick the Patriots too. Although, you almost convinced me to pick the Panthers with that whole rant, but I'm not going to. I trust the Patriots.
I don't know why.
Unlike you.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick the Panthers.
I like that.
And I was going to pick them before the rant. I mean, I think the most impressive thing about the Patriots is Jacob over here telling us how wonderful they are with a straight face. They're not very good. I'm sorry. I mean, the Panthers aren't very good either, but they played really well last week. So they didn't turn the ball over 5 times. So I'm going to have to go with the Panthers to win this one on the road.
I really want to pick the Panthers, but it just feels too risky.
It is risky. It's very risky. Maybe this is a chance for the Patriots to right their ship. I don't know. If they lose to the Panthers, they might as well just tank the rest of the season.
We need to get better draft picks because we have a Super Bowl caliber quarterback.
Calm down.
That's the straight face again.
We do. We definitely have like the next Josh Allen, but unfortunately, no one else on the team is even close, except for the running back that doesn't get any playing time. Okay, moving on. We have the Jaguars at the 49ers. This one I wasn't really too sure on. Niners are 4.5-point favorites, undefeated. First place in the division. They are playing at home as well. Jaguars, they won last week against the Texans. I mean, again, their wins have not been impressive wins. Mac Jones, give him credit. He's actually been playing pretty well. Another good game. But now, Nick Bosa is injured for the entire season. Torn ACL.
Yep.
And for that reason, I'm picking the Jaguars because eventually the 49ers are going to run out of people on their roster. It's so bad. They're losing everybody. Like, everybody. Horrible. I don't really think the Jaguars are better than the 49ers. I think the 49ers are much better, but none of their starters are going to be starting by the time the game plays. So I'm just going to go with the Jaguars because they're a little healthier, but I can see this going either way. I don't trust either team at this point now.
I think I've picked against the 49ers all 3 weeks, and they are 3-0. And that trend's going to continue. Give me the Jaguars.
I am going to go with the 49ers because they're at home. I think they're a better team, even with the injuries, although they are mounting every week. I just think they're a little bit better. Jaguars are inconsistent, and I do not trust them at all. 49ers at home, I think they're going to get the W.
This could actually be a really good game. We
I
have
think it's going to be.
the undefeated Colts going up against the 2-1 Rams. In LA, Rams are 3.5-point favorites, and you know what? I am going to roll with the Rams. Back to the Rams this week. They've looked good in all of their games this year. They were very close to being 3-0 here. So I take the Rams. I take the experience. They're looking good. Colts are looking very good too. And honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if the Colts were able to pull this one off. They've played well, but I just trust the Rams a little bit more, and they're running it at home. So give me the Rams to take this one.
I think that I'll pick the Colts. I think the Rams have looked very impressive. The Colts have looked very impressive. I'll go with the Colts. It's kind of a coin flip, though.
I am going to go with the Colts also. This could be, I think, a great game. Rams were a little disappointing last week at the end where they choked the game away. And I think Indiana Jones is going to continue his role and be able to go in to LA and beat the Rams. We'll see. We're going to see who's for real this week. You know, the Rams go 2-2. Maybe they're not as good as we thought they were. And if the Colts lose, well, maybe they're going to come back down to earth where we think they really should be, but haven't been yet. So I'm going to go with the Colts, though. We'll see. I'm going to ride Indiana Jones till he proves me wrong. He's been very impressive this year.
Now we have an AFC Championship rematch, except both of these teams are 1-2 heading into Week 4.
It was 2 years ago.
Yes. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So,
Kind of feels irrelevant.
same quarterbacks, a lot of the same players. Okay,
Yep.
thank you. Ravens at Chiefs. Chiefs have just played a lot of good teams this year, except for the
Yeah.
Giants last week, which is their only win of the season. Ravens are 2.5-point favorites, but guess what? Lamar Jackson has never won in Arrowhead. Well, guess what? The Patriots had never lost in Foxborough to the Steelers, well, in like 8 years, and that happened. And they had never won in Miami since like 2018. So we're breaking all the streaks here. So I'm going to pick another streak to break. I'm going with the Ravens to win this one. I picked them to lose against the Lions because I didn't like the way they matched up to them. I do like the way they match up to the Chiefs. I just think they can outscore the Chiefs in a way that the Chiefs can't put up points. The Chiefs do have the better defense. They certainly do. Ravens' defense has looked worse and worse each week. And Derrick Henry's untimely fourth quarter fumbling has been a major problem. But I feel like even when the Ravens play their worst football, it's kind of on par with the Chiefs' average football that they play. Their offense has been ugly. The Chiefs' offense has been ugly. They struggled to put away the Giants the first 3 quarters of that game last week. So I'm just going to take the Ravens. They have more star power. They have more scoring power. And I think Lamar does get his first win in Arrowhead, although the Ravens are one of those teams where they just cannot get over these mental blocks that they have. But I just don't know how the Chiefs win this one unless they somehow hold the Ravens' offense to like 14 points. And that hasn't really happened this year. The Ravens have been putting up points. They've just been getting outscored by other good offenses like the Bills and like the Lions. But the Chiefs don't have a good offense like that. So we're going with the Ravens to break the streak.
I also think the Ravens go into Arrowhead and just take a pretty easy win. I mean, the Chiefs' offense is actually disastrous.
Nothing comes easy in Arrowhead.
I think Mahomes is like their leading rusher.
He is their leading rusher.
Probably could be their leading receiver if he had to. They have their weapons are just they're injured. They're horrible. Their offense is horrible.
I think it'll be a close game. Nothing comes easy in Arrowhead.
No, nothing comes easy.
I think this game comes easy.
I don't. I think the Ravens. I'm picking the Ravens to win this game because I think they're a better 1-2 team than the Chiefs. We're gonna find out who's real and who's not. But I'm gonna go out on a limb and give you my hot take. The loser of this game doesn't make the playoffs.
I don't think that's a hot take.
You don't think so?
1-3 is a pretty rough start.
Yeah, but these are both two good teams. Who would have thought at the beginning of the year that we were talking about the Chiefs possibly not making the playoffs?
Yeah.
We might have said they've gone down a little bit, but they would be a minimum a wild card.
No one really expected.
They've fallen off the cliff.
Yeah, Worthy got injured.
But
he's gonna
Kelsey's been horrible.
Kelsey's been horrible, but they're getting their receivers back.
They are, and we'll see what happens from that point.
We'll see what happens from that point, but they really can't afford to lose this game.
I think the Ravens overall, if they lose this, it'll be worse than the Chiefs losing it because the Chiefs actually have an excuse. Listen, they've been to
Right.
3 straight Super Bowls. They've won 2 of the last 3. They haven't had a good draft pick in a long time. And not that the Ravens have been getting great draft picks either, but they have Derrick Henry on their offense. They have a healthier team overall. And if they once again prove that they can just not beat another good team in a big moment, that's going to just look so bad on them. The Chiefs kind of have an excuse. Eventually, teams have to stop making the Super Bowl multiple times in a row. It just happens. It's just how history works. And they are very injured, banged up. So they are outmatched on paper. So if the Ravens cannot win one of these games against a high-quality quarterback and coaching staff, it's going to look worse on them, I think.
Oh yeah, I agree. And the Chiefs, well, they're victims of their own success. They've been a very good team for a long time. Their good players are aging out.
Been to the AFC Championship in like 8 years in a row.
Yeah. I think as far as making the playoffs go, I think the Ravens have a better chance of making the playoffs if they lose as well, compared to the Chiefs losing, because the Ravens now have a less competitive division. They have the Browns, who might not win another game. They have the Steelers, who are just more beatable.
Yes.
And they have the Bengals, who have lost Joe Burrow.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
The Chiefs have the Broncos to deal with, who I still think are a quality team, and they have the Chargers, a top team in the NFL. So I do think they would have to fight a lot harder for that wild card spot, where I think the Ravens, even being 1-3, could possibly turn around and win the division, just with how bad the other three teams are. But we'll see what happens. Next, we have the Bears at the Raiders. Everybody must love playing against that Cowboys defense.
Oh, they do.
They made Caleb Williams look like the number 1 pick in the draft last week. Wow. That was something. I didn't even pick the Bears to win that game. That was certainly something. Now they're playing the Raiders, who embarrassed themselves against a backup quarterback. So it's really like, who do I pick here? I don't know. The Raiders play in Vegas. They're playing in Vegas, and Vegas has them as the 1.5-point favorite, which isn't a lot, but I'm just going to go with who Vegas is going with. And that's my only reason for picking the Raiders, is because they're 1.5-point favorites. So I'm going to go with Vegas' team here. And I have no idea what's going to happen, so we shall see.
I'm going to pick the Bears. I think something not quite as elaborate, but I think something similar could happen to what happened last week with the Bears.
Oh my
They just take care of business.
They didn't take care of business.
Every team that plays the Cowboys defense scores like 55 points.
Because the Cowboys blow coverage.
The Raiders aren't good either.
They're not as defense is not as bad as the Cowboys.
But their offense is much worse.
So what? All they need to do is score 10 points. They're at home, so I'm picking the Raiders because they're at home.
Yeah. I mean,
Look.
you saw what happened with the Giants last week.
Don't hit the table.
I'm gonna hit you next. Last week, the Giants were horrible. The week before, they played the Cowboys, and Russell Wilson looked like he was back in his MVP season.
He looked like a Hall of Famer out
Yeah.
there. 455 yards.
I wish I could have one NFL game in my career, and I would choose to play the Cowboys defense, and I could actually fit in the NFL. All right, so now we have our Sunday night football game, our 8 o'clock game. We have the Packers and the Cowboys. Oh boy. This has never been a good result for the Cowboys.
Nope.
Even when the Cowboys should have won, they lost with Dez Bryant. But the Packers,
Even though that was a catch.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But the Packers have a long history of breaking the Cowboys' hearts in the playoffs and regular season. And now they have Micah Parsons on a revenge tour against them. And I have a feeling he's going to be a little extra motivated. And also, Dak Prescott does not have CeeDee Lamb to throw to for the next few weeks at least. And he has no idea what to do when CeeDee Lamb's not on the field. Do you see him? When he doesn't have CeeDee to throw to, he doesn't know what to do. He just freaks out. So, and also the Cowboys have the worst defense in the NFL. So Packers are going to feel great going from one of the best defenses in the Browns going up against the worst defense. Packers take this one over under is, I don't know what it is, but I take the over on that one just because of the Packers offense in this. And yeah, Packers win.
Yeah, I think that they take care of it easily, offensively, defensively. I don't see the Cowboys putting up a fight.
I don't either. I'm picking the Packers. Cowboys are not a good team, and they're even a worse home team. And Dak Prescott is not a good quarterback. And Jordan Love, if you got him on your fantasy team,
Now's the week to start it.
start him.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I have him on my fantasy team.
You do.
Things are looking good.
Yeah, you're going to win this week.
Yep, another W.
Now we have a Monday night game so bad they had to add a second one. We have the Jets at the Dolphins, another rivalry game. It's really just a fight of who can get one of the better picks in the draft at this point. Jets are playing in Miami. Miami 2.5-point favorites. The Jets actually put up a little fight at the end of the game against the Buccaneers. Really, really close at the end there. Surprisingly, Dolphins did the opposite. They started off close against the Bills and then blew it in the end with another Tua turned the ball over interception. But the Dolphins are at home, so I will take them. And they do have more talent on the roster than the Jets have, which isn't saying much. But we'll roll with the Dolphins here.
I'm picking the Dolphins because I don't see Tyrod Taylor going into Miami and beating the Dolphins. But if Tua throws another late-game interception, I'm going to lose it.
Well, plan on losing it. I'm picking the Jets to win. They're going to get. I think Fields might be back. I think he's going to be playing Monday night. But either way, I think the Jets can beat the Dolphins. It's going to be close. It's going to be a boring game, and probably nobody's going to watch it because an hour later they can go watch a real Monday night football game.
And that brings us to the Bengals at the Broncos, which would have been a lot better had Joe Burrow not gotten injured. But either way, Broncos fans should be very happy with this matchup after having to face the Colts and the Chargers. The Broncos must be very happy about getting to play a bad team with a bad O-line and an embarrassing coaching staff at this point, I would say. Broncos take this one in Denver, 7.5-point favorites. I could see them certainly covering that one.
Mm-hmm.
And they get back in the hunt, back in the win column. And they will probably be 2-2 after week 4.
We really could be 4-0, but not going to get in that. We literally have not trailed for a single second in regulation all year. And we're 1-2. That makes me mad. But, the Broncos have the most sacks in the NFL so far. I think we just eat Jake Browning up.
Oh, pause.
Yeah, Broncos are supposed to be great this year. Deep run in the playoffs. They haven't shown it, really, but they are playing the Bengals.
On home turf.
With home turf with no Joe Burrow, so you got to go with the Broncos to win this one. If they don't, man,
If
it's
we
going to be
don't,
embarrassing.
I'm not watching another game the rest of the
Yeah,
season.
I don't blame you. Hey guys, let's do a little debate here. First thing is, what are your top 5 teams after 3 weeks in the NFL? Your power rankings.
Top 5.
Top 5.
In no particular order until you get to number 1, because number 1 is in order for me, but the rest of them not in any particular order. But I have the Eagles in my top 5, the defending champs who are still undefeated. They've beaten a couple good teams. We have Tampa Bay in the top 5, very clutch team, also 3-0. We have the Buffalo Bills, of course, in the top 5, also 3-0, impressive wins. And ready for this one? Just moving into my top 5 now. I don't know. Should I do it?
The Patriots.
Yeah, do it.
I don't know if I should do it.
Do it. Do it.
This is going to be a back and forth spot. It would have been the Packers, but I'm switching it out with the Lions now.
Yeah.
Packers are at 6, but I had the Lions in there taking their spot, at least momentarily. My number 1 team, the Chargers.
I knew it. No Bills?
I just said the Bills two
You're right.
games
I
ago.
was not listening.
You were not. The Chargers are my number 1 team right now. I think they're overlooked, but I think they're the most well-rounded team. I did say that about the Packers in the NFC, but I think the Chargers really are the most well-rounded team right now.
I think, again, I don't really have a particular order either, but I'd put the Lions, Bills, Packers, Chargers, and Tampa in the top 5. I think I'll put the Bills at 1, the Chargers at 2, and the Packers at 3, and then the Lions 4, and Tampa Bay 5. I'm leaving the Eagles out
You are leaving the Eagles out.
for the sake of I don't like them.
Well, this isn't who you like.
And
It's,
I think
You like the Chargers?
I don't like the Eagles.
hate the
I don't
Chargers.
like the Eagles. Though.
Okay.
I can't deny what the Chargers have done. The Eagles still
But you
haven't.
can't deny what they've done.
The Eagles still haven't looked that
Okay.
impressive to me, except for the second half of that game.
all right. Well, I got mine in order. My top team is the Lions. I think right now, even though they're 2-1, I think after the first week they got things figured out. Number 2 and very, very close are the Bills. And then the Chargers, Eagles, and Packers. Packers went down to 5 with their loss to the Browns because they just looked awful in that game. So that's my power rankings for the first 3 weeks. All right, so the next question is, we've got 6 teams that are 3-0. Who do you think's the worst?
I'll start 49ers. They're too injured to be good.
Buffalo, the Colts, the Chargers, Eagles, Tampa Bay, and 49ers. So you're saying the 49ers are the worst of that group?
If you put the 49ers matched up against any of those teams, I'm taking all the other ones to win
Fair enough.
the game.
I'm in an interesting scenario here. I say if you have Brock Purdy back in the lineup,
He's not, though.
he might actually be. Yes.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, I think it does
To me,
matter.
It does matter.
It does matter. Wait a minute. Brock Purdy might be playing this week. Oh, hey guys. So remember that one time
no, here we go.
remember that one time I picked the Jaguars like 15 minutes ago? If Brock Purdy's playing, I'm actually picking the 49ers. I completely forgot
I'll
about
agree
that.
with that.
Oh, okay, and now we got him stealing my thing here.
Right.
I
Stealing
don't
last
want to
place.
say the 49ers are the worst undefeated team in this group here. I shouldn't be a hater on the Colts. I shouldn't be. They did win against the Broncos, but if Brock Purdy's in the lineup with McCaffrey and they were going head to head against the Colts, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I want to say the Colts are the worst one. That's kind of messed up because they've been playing like one of the best teams, but I would take the 49ers over the Colts in a little upset there. So, I think it's close, but
I think it's close. I don't know. I think I might have to go with San Fran too. Although Indianapolis, I don't really know if I can trust them.
that's my problem. I have trust issues.
Right, I do too with them, but only the reason I say San Francisco is because of their injuries.
Mm-hmm.
If they were perfectly healthy,
It'd be a
it would be
different
definitely
story.
the Colts. But losing Bosa and everybody else they've lost.
I have a question for everyone.
All right.
See if anyone can get the answer.
Okay.
Which quarterback from last year's draft class this season so
Best.
far has the highest completion percentage and
boy.
the most amount of passing yards? Who could it be? Is it number 1 overall draft pick Caleb Williams?
No.
Even after his game against the Cowboys last week?
No.
Is it Jaden Daniels?
He's injured. That's not fair.
Yeah, it is fair. Is it Bo Nix, who's not injured?
No, he's just been playing bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Sophomore slump.
Spencer Rattler.
Is it Michael Penix? Nope.
Spencer Rattler.
Who do you think it is?
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say Drake May.
By a long shot.
No.
By a long shot. Yes.
And who's
The true number 1 pick in the NFL draft should have been Drake May.
And which one of those has the best team record? Not the Patriots.
that
I'll
was
give you
that was
that
not the
one.
question. Also, listen. First of all, you had the same record as the Patriots, so you can't really say much either.
We didn't.
That's all I have to say. We do have a
Yep.
future. We have a future Super Bowl champion in our midst, and it's only a matter of time before he
Jaden
catches
Daniels.
those Broncos.
Before he
Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below, and we'll see you next time.